Dago. Brown-eyed baby Antonio Padilla here joined with a special guest, Jason frickin' Kipnis. Jason, I want to really thank you for, even making the time for this. I know you're a busy man, a lot on your schedule. We had to reschedule like twice now, and I really appreciate you
for you, absolutely, buddy.
I really appreciate it. First things first, I want to start off with your high school career.
Okay.
You played multiple sports.
Yeah.
Baseball, soccer, football. Your freshman year, you set the single season record at Glenbrook North High School. Is that right?
That's right.
For goals in soccer. Come on.
We did a bunch of sports. I always thought I wanted to play as many sports as I could growing up. So it wasn't just to play baseball. As I thought I enjoyed playing every sport. So I tried as many as I could. I played basketball freshman year, soccer, and baseball. And then I switched to football and baseball by the end of high school. So we played a bunch.
I read that when you played football, you were actually a all-conference wide receiver. You set the single-season record for receiving yards, receptions, touchdowns, all at your school. But it always seemed like you knew baseball was going to be your path. Why was that?
Because I stopped growing at 5'10". Not too many NFL wide receivers are small and 5'10" and roaming around, so I figured I had a better chance in the baseball gig. Baseball was always the passion. I think the other sports were the hobbies and a lot of fun, but baseball was the passion.
That's amazing. Your senior year, you had a phenomenal year. Batted .521, .690 on base percentage. You stole 32 bags. Mind you, you got caught 0 times. 0 times. What was some of your options looking like coming out of that senior year, and what made you decide to attend the University of Kentucky?
Options weren't great, actually, to be honest. I think living in the Midwest and around the Big Ten, I was hoping to go somewhere there. That's where a lot of my friends were going to school, be it Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin, schools like that. And to be honest, I couldn't get an offer from any of them. I went to their camps, played well, and still couldn't get offers. Kentucky finally came calling with a book scholarship, which is like the smallest possible scholarship they can offer you. And I knew it was in the SEC, which played teams like Florida and LSU, and I wanted to play against those type of teams, and so I took the book scholarship, figuring that was the best, highest competition I could get to, really.
Sounds good. That freshman year, you redshirted.
Yeah.
Right? What was that experience like? And what do you think that meant to you going later down the line? Like, how do you think that impacted your college career?
To be honest, it wasn't a fun experience. You go from thinking you're really good in high school to telling you're not good enough to play this year, in essence. So it's a humbling experience. It kind of knocks you down a little peg and tests you to make sure you want this, to where, hey, you're just going to have to work out this year and get stronger and do other stuff instead of actually play the game. So it tests how much you want to play this game and how dedicated you are to it. But it's not fun. It's not fun sitting on the sidelines when you're just itching to play the whole time.
I bet. Your second year, though, you're able to come back better. You're not come back better, but you came into it batting .337, .450 on base, 11 bags. Shortly after, you decided to transfer to ASU. What took place to kind of help you decide, long-term Kentucky wasn't going to be the right place, and what made Arizona State the right decision?
There's a longer story that goes into it, but I think ran into a little trouble at University of Kentucky, and needed to grow up a little bit on my end too. And I think it was just time to leave that school. I think me and the coach didn't necessarily see eye to eye, is one way I'll put it. And but then Arizona State was just the luckiest of the second chances that I could get. I think I sent out like a resume to 30 schools and almost sent it to them as a joke, and they responded. And as soon as they responded, I was like, oh, God, would I love to go there. And the emails turned into phone calls turned into some paperwork, and next thing I knew, I was on ASU's campus, and they were preseason #1 the next year.
That's
so
amazing.
That was a great second chance.
That's amazing. Your first year at Arizona State, you had a phenomenal season. 371, 14 home runs, 71 RBIs. You had 24 stolen bases, second in the nation that year. You played everywhere in the outfield to second base. You showed you could do anything kind of required. What was the most memorable moment from that season?
From that first season, honestly, probably playing against University of Arizona, the rivals. So it was like my first chance to be in a real rivalry. They didn't like us, we didn't like them, but we had a really good team. Clearly, they were preseason number one, so they were good before I got there. But it was awesome to have student sections yelling at you, to really get into like every at bat's important, every pitch was important. It was just awesome to be a part of like my first rivalry like that.
It's amazing. That's amazing. After that season, you were drafted by the Padres in the 4th round.
Yeah.
And instead of signing, you decided to go back to school. You gambled on yourself almost, took a risk, and decided to play another year. What were some of the main factors to help you decide, instead of going to literally the major leagues, turning down a major league team and saying, I'm going to go back to college? What were some of those factors?
Well, because I had redshirted at Kentucky the first year, I still had 2 more years of eligibility. So when you get drafted, if you have no more years of eligibility, like seniors might, they kind of have to take the offer.
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
have to take the offer because I had 2 more years, so I could go back and still have decent eligibility. So that factored into it. A big factor was I also didn't know that, like everybody that you're supposed to sign in the 4th round. I think I was the only one in the top 4 rounds that didn't sign that year. I wasn't used to the draft. I didn't know much about it. I had an agent very late in the game telling me stuff, so I decided, I thought I wasn't done at college. I wanted to go back and prove myself some more, maybe improve the draft status and all that, and turned out to be a good call though.
This obviously turned out to work perfectly fine. You came back and were named the Pac-12 Player of the Year, #1 outfielder in the country, and actually got drafted even higher now in the 2nd round by Cleveland. That contract you got, you almost made double than what you would have made it going
So it's a signing bonus, and it's like, and it's not a major league contract, so you don't go straight to the major league team. But it's, if I'm trying to remember correctly, it would have been close to maybe like double. I think with the signing bonus, I think it's all kind of slotted in where each pick has a slotted number next to it, but close. So already a good start.
What was that like being drafted and just, that feeling of relief, feeling like all that hard work might have paid off and you're getting to where you wanted to be?
It's not that it all paid off just yet. It's that it's a stepping stone and a big one at that, where it was like, it tells you you're on the right path. It gives you a second to kind of come up for air and being like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing it well, and you're just all smiles and grateful that day, and then you just start thinking about the possibilities. And when I got drafted by Cleveland, I knew they were in the AL Central and got to play Chicago, where I'm from. So I would, if I did one day make it up to the big leagues, I'd get to play in Chicago a couple times a year, which was big for me. That was exciting. And you start thinking about the movie Major League and all those teams, and you just have a lot of fun with it. It's a really fun time in your life.
That's amazing. Now, going through the minors, what coaches, teammates, or even moments do you remember best when thinking about your success?
Good question. There's a lot of teammates you make a lot of friends with along the way, because in the minor leagues you're not playing in those big cities yet. You're playing in small cities. You're eating Subway or ramen with 4 guys in an apartment, kind of like that. That's just to save money, and so there's definitely some bonds and being made. And I remember Lonnie Chisenhall. I remember Dave Roberts, Zach Putnam, Vinny Pastano, all these guys who I just were like my roommates going through the minor leagues. So we were all very close, and it was exciting and hard when one guy gets called up and you're like, oh, we're gonna miss him, but you're happy for him and all that stuff. So you definitely make some good bonds, friendships kind of along those minor leagues.
That's really nice. In your first AAA game, you were able to hit for the cycle. What was that like, and what were the emotions going through your head?
So I had already been home on the couch for a week. I ended in AA. My season was over. I was watching NFL Red Zone with pizza next to me, thinking I was like time to relax and recoup, and get a call saying, "Hey, do you want to go to the AAA playoffs?" And I was just like, "Sure." Like you don't say no to that opportunity, and go there, or immediately hung up and went to the cages just to kind of like knock the rust off real quick, and met them in Columbus, and was just very fortunate that just kind of the rest did me some real good for a week, and
That's nice.
kind of hopped right back into it. Didn't lose the timing yet.
That's good. Going into 2012, you were described kind of as a blue-collar, dirtbag, run-through a wall, relentless type of guy. What in life do you think helped you shape to, get those type of names
Yeah.
thrown around with your name?
I think it's probably people have influences on you. So I think my dad was a big influence. I think he taught me how to play the game and play the game the right way. And
Yes, sir.
when I watched the game, I liked the guys who were hustling. I liked, even if it's for a different reason. So it's like you're like, wow, you ran the ground ball out hard when you were going to be out. It's like, well, I was pissed off and I just wanted to blow some steam. So, but like, there's just different reasons. But I think that's just, you're doing the game a service, and you're giving back the gratitude and honor of playing the game by playing it the right way, playing hard. You got to run down the line 4 times hard in a day. That's not asking too much. So I thought that was always an easy thing to do.
Yes, sir. That's amazing. What do you remember about your first MLB game and the call-up?
I had a bunch of friends there. Parents were there, but the game itself was kind of blurry. That you have so much adrenaline and emotions going. Your body's tingly at times, and you're just trying to process it all. And you're also trying to have a good game, but it's hard not to like just look around the stadium and being like, "Holy crap! I'm actually here right now," and pinch yourself. But I think my second at bat, like even my first at bat, I had a dribbler back to the pitcher, and I was just happy I get to run to first base right now in a major league game, and didn't strike out. And I think the second or third at bat, I got like hit by the pitch and I was like, I'm on base, and unfortunately, but I also got hit like in the shin and couldn't really feel my knee down, and so I actually got pinch ran for. So I like hopped like a pirate to first base, but I was so excited I got on base, and but it's blurry. But you tell everybody, you only get one of them. You only get one debut, so enjoy it, soak it in, and have fun.
That's amazing. July 25th, you recorded your first big league knock. Take us through that moment.
I think I was 0 for 7 going into it. You start to have doubts. You start to think, you're like, am I ever going to get a hit up here, or why is this different than down there? And it was just like a kid in the backyard. It was bottom of the 9th, like 2 outs, bases loaded, and your self-talk right there is important. So you're closing your eyes for your second. You're like, if there's ever a time to get a hit right now, now's the time. This is it. This is your moment. And like, step up to the plate. And I think it might have been a first pitch fastball, and just hit it into right field for a walk-off hit as my first hit. And then it's like, after that, it was just like the weight off your shoulders. You're like, you've got a hit. You won a game. Like, it was such a cool moment that it catapulted me a little bit. So
that's amazing. Only 16 games into your rookie season, you had a 5-hit game. A pretty successful rookie year. What helped you find some confidence early on after, that walk-off hit?
Kind of like I was going to say, like after that walk-off hit, I think as the more hits or more success you get, the more confidence it grows. So it's like, you're like, oh, you start to have you hit a double, you're like, I can do this, and you start to believe more and more with the more success you have. So it really does snowball affect your confidence in a good way, that everything that works in your way starts to build up your confidence, and the game starts to slow down, and it's the same game that you've always played, and you start to realize that it's just more recognizable names on their jerseys, or people that you've played with in video games or collected their cards, and it's like, oh, you throw 94, but like, so did the guy in AAA, and it's like it's just different people now, but it's the same game of baseball you've always played.
Gotcha. Your second season numbers show you might not have had the year you wanted, but what were you able to take from that second year to help you find so much success with that third year?
You're just gathering information. The more information you got of what works, what doesn't work, you kind of fall back to, hey, when I was going good, what was I trying to do, or what was working for me, and then what didn't work for me. Was I trying to hit home runs, and that wasn't going to work for me? So okay, let's not try to do that anymore. So you're just kind of always, you're just a sponge soaking in the information and always trying to learn.
Gotcha. That third year, mind you, you had 87 RBIs, the most in your career. Just a phenomenal season all around, hitting 284, 366 on base. That year, you also made your first All-Star game. What are some of the most memorable moments from that All-Star game?
I mean, just being there in general, you're that's another one where it's like, okay, I've been playing for 2 years, but now I'm still getting a moment where I get to pinch myself, and you feel like a little kid, and you're really in the limelight of the game, and with all the other greats of the game, and you're just like, holy crap, you're like, I'm really doing this, and getting to mingle and rub shoulders with all these guys and ask them questions, and you're not competing against them right now, you're competing with them. You get to talk to them like they're teammates for a night, and that's special. And then just being in New York, having my family there. It was Mariano Rivera's last season, last All-Star game. So it's like when he came out, everybody stayed off the field, and he came out to an empty stadium in New York, and it was a very cool moment.
That's amazing. In 2014, during the season, you had signed an extension with Cleveland. How did that process go, especially going through the season? And what made you decide, Cleveland was the place that you wanted to stay?
Well, Cleveland gave me the opportunity, so you're always grateful to them. And at that time, they're the ones who have the rights to you, so you're excited for that. But it's like you're building something there, and you're building something with those teammates. And so at that time, clearly to me, it's like I didn't really want to be anywhere else. I think I was falling in love with the city and the team, and when you're just starting your career, everything makes you happy, kind of, especially when you're having a little success. So you don't want to change anything. You don't want to rock the boat by any means.
Gotcha. 2015, you were also named an All-Star. You had the highest OPS of your career that year, 300 batting average. What do you remember from that All-Star game in specific, and what helped you, at the end of that season, what kind of gave you and your team that confidence that made you feel like you guys could come back even stronger next year?
Yeah, at that All-Star game, I got to have my two brothers come down onto the field with me for the Derby, where we just kind of got to sit on the sideline on the ground and watch a home run derby. And you're just like, I've grown up watching this event on TV, and now I've been to one. Now I get one where I'm with my brother, so that was pretty special for me. I think the guys who I'd come up with, I think we were a really young team around 2013, 2014, 2015. I think after 2015, we knew a lot of, like 6, 7 of us were all kind of like, okay, we have 3-4 years under our belt. We're starting to get stronger, smarter, the way we play the game. I think we're all about to hit our stride and kind of hit our peak. So I think we all peaked a little bit at the same time, and that's what led to 2016, I would like to say.
2016, what do you remember most from that year that made you think, okay, we have a shot, this is serious, this is a group of guys that we...
Getting to the World Series, yeah, that's what's made us think we had a shot. I was getting there, and also having a lead in it too, but we know how it ended. But it was a magical year. It really was one of the most, if not the most fun season of my entire life, and just to have a playoff run, to be able to experience it was special. It's heartbreaking, but you're glad you went through it because it means you gave everything you could to it.
In one of those playoff series after a win, I can't remember what game it was exactly, but you had said after in the interview, there should be a movie on this team. You know what I mean? There should be, I think it was Kluber's second game of the playoffs. Only maybe it was real early on for Kluber. It was, a phenomenal, wild season, and truly just one to be remembered and cherished.
We just had a lot of characters. I think it was a cool. We weren't the sexy pick. I think we were the underdogs, or like people, because we were new, like into the playoffs. You had these guys, Toronto and Boston with Big Papi, and you had people who thought would be there at the end, and they were the favorites and all that stuff. And it's like, here comes a small market team from Cleveland, and kind of with a lot of doubt against us, but we just had a bunch of fun personalities and played the game the right way and played together. And I think we were just a very hard team to beat.
You've probably been asked this question thousands and thousands of times, but that World Series, playing against the Cubs, your childhood team, what was that like?
I was, before when the Cubs had made it, it was the Cubs versus the Dodgers to get into the World Series first. So we had clinched before them, and I was rooting against the Cubs. Well, clearly, but I was like, don't make me play against the Cubs right now. I was like, because I grew up on the lovable losers, the curse, all that stuff. I knew about it, and I was like, don't do that. But they win and turned out to be biased. I think one of the best World Series just because of like the way it all played out. But
Yes, sir.
it was fun. It was an experience. There were highs, there were lows to all of it, but it was really special and it's a memory I have with me forever. And to still live in the city of Chicago afterwards, which sucked for the first couple of years after that, and but I'm like to think I'm numb to it now. So when I see like a 2016 banner somewhere, I don't flip out or get mad or anything like that. I'm used to it. It happened. You lost, but it was a very special moment for me and my family.
That's amazing. No, that series, I don't know if you know this, you probably do though. You were tied for the most home runs that series. You truly, did your best, gave it your all. Tell us what it's like, not only playing 182 games in a season, but now you're getting to the postseason. You're playing longer than you ever have. You're working harder than you ever have. What was that like?
There's no denying it's a taxing on your body to play that many games. I don't think you feel good after your first game. I think you're always just kind of like, hey, how good can we get today? Or there's a lot of hot tubs, cold tubs, icy hot, stuff like that just get you through games. But at the end, when it's playoffs, I think you have so much adrenaline and it's such a fun experience that it's like you don't even feel your body. You're like, you don't care what's sore. You're like, that's not stopping me from playing today. And because it's your end goal anyways. You set out to win the World Series, and that's what you're so focused on, and you're such a groove with your routine that you really don't even worry about your body at that point.
It's real.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, during your seasons, while playing, what was the mindset like? And during the season, what was the diet like?
Yeah, you definitely can't just eat everything you want to. You're not going to be perfect every meal, so don't let any athlete really trick you. I mean, there's some who are just healthy eaters anyways. I was not one of them, but you can't eat garbage because what you eat is what fuels your body. So I think we have an on-site chef and all that make you meals. So they don't put out anything at the stadium that's going to be that unhealthy or even unhealthy. They restrict what you can eat in there, but they know when you land late in a new city and get to a hotel and all there is room service that here comes the chicken tenders and fries and barbecue sauce, and there's also there's a couple cheat meals here and there, but overall you're on that you're going to be feeling it more and more if you just keep putting sluggish food into you.
Gotcha. All right, now I want to ask, I'm going to give you a couple names, and I want to ask just one word, one sentence for these guys.
Okay.
Kluber.
Nasty. The one sentence would be just the best curveball I've ever seen.
Lindor.
Stud. Generational.
Bauer.
Unique.
J-Ram.
The man.
It's amazing. Now I gotta ask, did you ever have a welcome to the MLB type of moment?
Oh yeah. Rookie season, Justin Verlander was with the Tigers. Hall of Fame pitcher. I think it was a 0-0 game. I think the guy in front of me, it was like the 6th inning, he was dealing. I think Asdrubal Cabrera, someone hit a home run in front of me and pissed him off. And I think my first pitch was 99, swung right through it, couldn't catch up to it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shorten my bat even more.
Gotcha.
101, couldn't get up to it, 102. It was the most like good morning, good afternoon, good night where I was just like, well, I'm just going to walk back. That was fun. Like, had no chance. He was pissed off, and I was the lucky benefactor of that.
Now I want to ask a question that's been thrown around a lot lately, just throughout the Major League Baseball world, is what do you think about a potential salary cap, and what do you think of that?
Don't love it. I don't think that's the answer. Obviously, I'm biased being on the player's side, but I really don't think that's the answer. I think we have a lot of parity in this league. I think salary floor would be nice. You want teams to spend money. You want them to be more competitive, and I don't think it's more competitive by limiting spending. I think the owners and stuff are making hand over foot enough money to where I think there's a little bit of I think it's just greed. I think greed happens in anything. I think you follow the money, but I think owners make more than enough that they can afford to spend more money and put out a better product instead of limiting what players earn.
Yes, sir. Now, I want to show you a couple moments, couple
Okay.
videos, clips, and just ask what was going on in your mind during these clips.
One's to the left field.
In the air, left field. Gordon going back, still going back on the track at the wall. He can't make the play.
First, right there, just excited. He dropped it. Then I'm running to second, so it's right in front of me. I can see it. I see him not getting up.
Oh, man.
And so immediately I'm like inside the park home run.
Yeah.
I'm getting on my horses there. And listen, sometimes you're gifted. You hope he's not hurt. And I was worried about him because I do know Alex personally. But yeah. Yes, but you listen. You're worried. Your job is to play the game though until you hear like till the whistle or until the play's dead, and you just finish your job and then you'll take care of like worrying about him or something like that. It wasn't disrespectful to keep running, but the ball was in play and no one was going after it, so I was gonna run.
Going off of that, I actually just realized you're in Kansas City. I think Amanda might have told me this. After that series, it might have been the All-Star break, and she said something about maybe you flying out with the Kansas City Royals team.
No. There was the second All-Star game in 2015. We had just played the Oakland A's, and so we, instead of flying, which most teams do, here's a small market. There you go, Oakland and Cleveland, where Sonny Gray and Stephen Vogt, who's the coach of the Cleveland Guardians now, they were both All-Stars and I was an All-Star, and we shared a bus together. And they had just beaten us that day with Sonny pitching.
Gotcha.
And so you're riding with the pitcher and catcher of the team that just beat you. Two of the greatest guys. Again, that's where it's like the jerseys are off. They're just guys. Their families around there, and you get to know them personally and off the field, and they are fantastic human beings.
Yes. I want to show you 2 more clips. This one, just growing up, anytime you would watch like a MLB funny moments compilation, anything, you would always see this one. Growing up, I've probably seen this clip countless times.
So this was in Texas. Odor with a hard slide ended second, and this was like the series or week after he had just gotten that huge brawl with Jose Bautista. And so I knew it was him. I knew it was coming. I never minded a hard slide in second base as long as the spikes weren't up. I loved that part of the game. I was actually even mad when they got rid of it, but I knew damn well who was coming at me from first base, and I knew that I got off the good throw right before he got to me, and so I finished the double play and thought I'd have a little fun and just backed away from him, like, don't do it. I had to watch his right because I saw how lethal it was the series before.
That's amazing. Last clip I want to ask you about what was going through your mind. It looks like you were just having a great day. You know, some good sunshine, good vibes all around. Look at you.
Yeah, so this is like in the middle of the summer. Yeah.
Too much sunshine?
Too much sunshine. Music was up. Jason was not paying attention to the speed limit right there. Or that's like when you're hitting well, sun's out, you're excited to go to the field every day, and then you forget to brake check and slow down and watch your speed a little bit. So I think my speed got up there a little bit too much.
You know, honestly, it happens, sir. And you know, Jason Kipnis, you know, I bet you're in a nice car, moving fast. You know, I don't blame you whatsoever. What I really want to know what was going through your mind is right here. Cleveland cops love me. No ticket.
No ticket. Again, that might play into why I love the city of Cleveland so much. They love their sports there, and that's not to say that we got away with everything. By no means is that we were above the law. I think there's just some fortunate moments on my end where any encounter with a cop, and it wasn't often, but it could be another speeding time where they pull you over, they see who you are, and they just want to talk baseball, and you're like, I'll talk, and that's all I want. I want to talk baseball too. So it's like 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later, we're still like in this baseball conversation. He's like, well, I can't give you a ticket. He's like, and I was like, perfect, then it worked. But no, there was a lot of good people there, and I think as long as you're respectful always with law enforcement, you get the benefit of the doubt sometimes, and I happen to, and definitely plays into my love for Cleveland.
My last question for you, I simply just want to ask, what does baseball mean to you?
It's a great question. More than I have admitted to at times. There was, I think, a little bit, even when I retired, maybe some bitterness towards the game because it's like I probably wanted to play so much still, and then you think, you're like, oh, does this game not want me anymore? It's like, but that's not the case, I think. So I was like, maybe angry at the game, but this game has given me so much health, happiness, fortune in my life for me and my family and my circle that I owe a lot to it, and I think that's why I try to stay involved and give back what I can to the game because it gave me so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I just want to, one more time just say thank you. Everything.
Good interview.
Thank you. Thank the game of baseball. What you have given, me even, everything. Whether it's a signature, time out of your day, getting you in a video game. I appreciate the world.
That was awesome.
Thanks to you, everything truly does happen for a reason. If you don't play baseball, maybe I'm not in this beautiful home right now. You know what I mean? I'm so very thankful for you, your family, Amanda. I'm able to wake up every morning and just look outside. Look at this.
I've been looking most of the interview. It's just pretty.
Look at this. I'm so very grateful for everything that you've done for my family.
I appreciate you saying that.
I'm so the character you are outside of baseball, what you've done for your family, it's something I inspire to be, and I'm just so very thankful for you.
Oh man, this was a good interview.
This
is a good interview.
I really appreciate it.
Dude, thank you, Bison.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
I really appreciate it.
Really good stuff.
I really appreciate it.